So what I found is through all those fail safes, I really only spend maybe an hour and a half tops in live action with my clients, and my renewal percentage went way up. So my clients feel sort of seen. And what I found is that clients don't need as much contact as they do need the potential for contact.
Yes.
Hour and a half tops is what I spend on live coaching with clients per week.
This is the Online Trainer Show, Trainer Show, Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.
3, 2, 1. Okay, the countdown's over. Now we need to figure out what we're talking about. We were talking about this beforehand. So guys, what do you want to talk about today?
I threw some suggestions out there to Amber the other day. Any of those other suggestions look good, Amber?
I sent them out earlier. Let me pull them up. Keeping up with your fitness while running online training. While running your training business, you brought up something regarding that.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, what else we got?
Why becoming a six-figure trainer is a useless goal.
Meh.
How to take vacations as an online trainer. Like what systems do you need to have in place? Like how do you actually set up your business so you can actually, do life stuff?
Wait, say that again. How do you what?
How to take vacations as an online trainer.
Oh, how to take vacations.
Like how do you run your business to... All right, well, well, poo-poo then. You pick your own topic.
All right.
Did you just tell me to poo-poo?
Shit, it's just very well.
I feel like this quarantine thing has been bad for all of us. We're all talking like our children.
Another conversation here's the convo I've been having recently with the OTA students is what I actually do in the course of a week with online clients. Like a lot of people have asked me recently, like, so how does the week actually work? Like, how do you keep the clients involved? Like, what do you do during the course of the week?
Yeah, let's do that one. I like the fitness one too, but I like that one because I think that this peek behind my shoulder, like look at what I actually do day to day.
And
I think that could be really, really good, and I'd be interested too. So.
Right. I'm sure we all have some insight there. I'm sure, even though we're doing similar things, I'm sure all of us aren't doing it the exact same way. So, everybody can talk, even the women.
Okay. I thought that we spoke about
Oh,
this.
God.
Have we put it to bed?
The women for the podcast names are
Catalina and Amber.
Blonde and oh geez.
It was either the blonde or the Latina. Yeah, it's either the blonde or the Latina.
Yeah. Damn, help me out here. Help me out.
Sir, can you be more specific? Yes. One of their hair was blonde and one of them was a Latina. Like you didn't clear anything up.
And neither you better dye your hair or we will be. And both the adults are out. So I have
You're
no idea.
lost.
Wasn't that the most awesome comment?
Oh my God, I was just going to talk about that. So
that was so awesome.
Where was it? That was Instagram, right?
Yeah, that was Instagram. And it was the PTDC video clip from the last podcast. Yeah, so
that's right. So the PTDC video clip was Amber sharing her wisdom. And somebody commented below, they're like, is that Amber? I don't actually know what she looks like. You say it's her, but she's not showing her delts, so I can't tell. Because that was like the one day where you were actually wearing sleeves.
When I saw it, it was the only comment. I think what he said specifically, if this is Amber, I'm really disappointed that her delts aren't showing.
Yeah.
Because she had on a t-shirt. I was like, I must screen capture this right now.
Yeah, that was
send it to Slack immediately.
The fact that people, this was a dream. Like, you guys remember the initial conversations I had about this podcast.
Right.
I'm like, I want to get to the point where we have such dumb, idiotic inside jokes that the people who listen to episode after episode after episode, like, start to look forward to them. Like, that starts to be part of the real enjoyment of, like, being in the know and being like,
absolutely.
We've got, like, whatever it is, 70,000 people on Instagram. Like, probably 5 understood that comment.
Right, exactly, exactly. But I love it. We've had other comments though. Somebody commented about Keto's purple drink.
Yes.
A couple of weeks back in one of the groups. Yeah,
somebody
that was
showed
awesome.
a photo of a banana holder in one.
That's right, the same person, I think.
Was it the same person?
I think the same person commented about the banana holder and Keto's purple drink. So
basically, what we're saying is that we have 2 listeners.
Right. Ironically, nobody's commenting on the actual information, though.
We have spent a tremendous amount of time and effort on 2 listeners.
Right.
Can we talk about the gift that we're giving the PT Distinction for renewing their sponsorship?
You're welcome, PT Distinction.
Can we, Amber? You wanna share? Amber is the gifting queen for anybody who doesn't know.
She is.
And when I put a message in our Slack channel,
oh my gosh,
saying that, hey, good news, PT Distinction has renewed their sponsorship for another 3 months. We're excited to work with them more. Amber responded with a gift that she wanted to give them. So, Amber, please share.
So one of the running jokes is that they're suckers for continuing to sponsor us. And they've done it, shame on me. But so I thought it would be funny if we sent them a basket of suckers. And it turned into a sucker topiary somehow.
What is it? A sucker what?
A bouquet.
Oh, a bouquet. Yeah.
Topiary?
So it's literally like a bouquet of suckers. Like it's like in the shape of like a flower, but it's just a whole bunch of suckers.
It has 400 suckers in it.
Thank you for your sponsorship money. Here is what we spent it on. 400.
Here's what we do with it.
How much did that cost?
Oh, man. Less than what they're paying us.
It's significantly less than what they're paying us. They spent probably $30 total making it, something like
man.
that.
That's a solid investment.
It's a solid investment.
It is.
Probably ensuring that the company sponsoring your podcast never sponsors your podcast again. I'm just glad that I somehow figured out that they need to send us wires so they can't take it back. It's purely one of those like, oh yeah, send us money, no take backs. Here's a bunch of suckers.
Brilliant. It's the classic Bugs Bunny move, right? I love it. Yes, you do. God. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, I do.
We got to get a picture of that up on the. We got to get a picture of that, and I will. I am sure that Tim is going to send me a message. I'm not sure what that message is going to be like, but I'm sure that Tim is going to send me a message when he receives it. And like for anybody listening, like this is how you make business fun.
Right.
Like you can be loose, you can be irreverent, you can clearly this is a joke. We love PT Distinction. We don't think they're suckers. We think, see, I even stuttered over it trying to say that.
The lie tripped over your teeth on the way out of your mouth.
but we think that we have a great product, and obviously if they've renewed their sponsorship twice, like they're getting a lot of value from it, right? But I mean, there's no reason not to have fun with it and create this inside joke. So I hope that gives you permission to perhaps be a little bit looser in your business dealings and showcase some personality and make some jokes and just try to laugh and make other people laugh and send them a box of 400 suckers because they sent you money.
It's just a much better way to do business. It really is. You can enjoy your work. Even logging into here, we're using a different platform today.
It's fantastic.
It's pretty cool. And I noticed on the way in. Amber,
where'd you hear about this, Amber? This is called Riverside.fm.
Just from research and talking to some of the other podcast production companies.
This is great. Does it cost how much money is this
on the streets? Okay, she heard about it on the streets.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
When you say that, I'm legitimately scared, Carolina.
Well, today is
Okay.
$40 a month.
How much? $30 a month?
40.
40? We could buy 400 suckers for that. I don't know what I do. I just spend my money on.
So for the folks out there listening, if you notice that we're absent through January, just notice that we spent that money on suckers. We'll be back in February, okay? Yeah. We're on a sugar high. Getting our medical testing kits from Wilfred Brimley for diabetes. So we've got a topic today. Keto's here. We're all here. Jonathan Goodman is up here, clean shaven. We established in a previous podcast that when Jonathan is clean shaven, there's something big coming from PTDC. He only grows the months when he grew out the beard. Let's be frank about it. We were phoning it in here. Like PTDC wasn't giving you PTDC. So many PTs that we deal with here, Jonathan. I get them confused. But PTDC wasn't giving you much value through October and November. We admit that. That's what Jonathan was growing his beard out. So nothing was happening here. He's clean shaven now. So I'm assuming there's some big things that are about to happen, here at the end of quarter 4 or the beginning in January 1. Jonathan has poofed himself. He's transported himself into a black silhouette now. I can't even see him. So obviously some big things are happening, but we wanted to talk to you guys today about sort of what our process is in terms of actually dealing with the clients. And this is a great topic because we all get to share, because we all do things probably slightly different here. But what I've had on the OTA conversations, because I help do coaching for OTA students, believe it or not, I can stay sane long enough to have that conversation. The train's coming. But in that context, people have been asking me, so what do you actually do during the week with your clients? Like, how do you actually manage online clients? Because I've got a few, and I've got a few clients in the OTC. There's 26 people that I'm dealing with there. So we thought it'd sort of be interesting to let you guys in on like what we actually literally do with clients during the course of a week to keep them involved, to help them through their training, nutrition, if we do any nutrition. So we thought that'd be a fun topic to talk about today. So hopefully we'll give you guys some good insight about that. And then I've got my other part-time job now as a Chippendales dancer. If you heard the last episode of the podcast, I've gotten into full frontal nudity recently. So that's just something else to mix into it, right? So we're able to facilitate a lot of things through our processes. I don't know who wants to talk about this first. Do I need to start? Is that where we're going? I'm starting. Amber says yes. Keto's pensive. She's on the fence right now. She's not sure if she wants me to go or her to go. But I'm cool. So here's what I do, and I'll be as brief as possible. If you guys think I go through anything too quickly, just tell me to go back and do it again. And I don't want to give too much away.
Great pace, right?
Oh, I'm at a great pace. All right,
great pace.
Let's
keep going at a good pace. Keep doing exactly what you're doing.
So they said the same thing about my dancing last night at the Chippendales corner. It's good pace, man. Good pace on stage. Because you want to get off early. You don't want people to want you to get off the stage. You want to get off a little bit before.
I don't know why I'm being targeted, but I actually see an advertisement from like a male dancing coach on my Facebook, and it is it's an online course that he's trying to sell me about how to do lap dances.
Oh my gosh. This just made my entire
life. It's a business opportunity. That's a business opportunity.
You know what?
It's literally like a make money opportunity.
Coaches.
That's right, Jonathan.
Best coaches have coaches. You need to hire him.
Yeah.
I think that we need to put a poll out on all your groups and see how many of your people want to see you learning how to do lap dances.
Yeah, how many people want to see Jonathan
by
lap
example,
dance?
how do you walk the walk?
That's right, Jonathan. Lead from the front, buddy, okay? You can't push a string, Jonathan. You have to pull it. So I need you to get out front on this. Carol, I think we figured out why he's clean shaven today too. He's doing like that boyish handsome thing for his dance audition. I see what's going on here, Jonathan.
Totally. I see that.
As we say around my way, you ain't slick. You ain't slick.
Guys, I started this podcast with the intention that I would be revered. I started this podcast with the expectation that I would have a trio of people who would only work to lift me up.
Oh my gosh.
And increase my social standing.
If you're not following along with how well we've revered Jonathan Goodman this quarter of the year, he's been a wet blanket in the previous episode. We've turned him into the pink Power Ranger at one point, and now he is a male dancer, lap dancing for money. By the way, for all the folks out there that do that, we're not judging; we're just participating.
Heck no, you probably make pretty good money.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good money. Yeah, so who are we to judge? So in terms of my process, here's how I start my process. Jonathan, I'm not going to give away a lot of the OTA 2 stuff, but I will give one component of my process. I hope that's okay. I'm not going to spill it all.
Can I tell you a story first?
All I want to hear is a story. That's all I want.
So my brother was getting married. This is many years ago. My brother was getting married, and I was in charge of planning his bachelor party.
Of course you were.
And he made me promise that I wouldn't get him a stripper. Don't if I'm gonna be so pissed. Seriously, don't do this. Right. I was like,
right,
screw this dude. I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna get him a clown.
What? My God.
We rented out a hotel room that overlooks the Toronto Blue Jays game in the Skydome in the Rogers Center.
Right.
And because that's what he really wanted. We had friends and family there, and he thought he was safe. Okay, then 2 of my friends, who were also at his bachelor party, grabbed him by the arms, dragged him to a chair forcefully, blindfolded him, and then a female clown walked in. And because he was blindfolded, he had no idea what was going on. But she started teasing him with her red clown hair. All over.
No.
What am I even hearing right now?
This is if you tell me that I can't do something, I'm gonna figure out a way to mess with you somehow. So anyway, on the topic of strippers, my brother begged me not to get him a stripper for his bachelor party, so I got him a clown. That's what happened. Tell me about how you do online training.
I feel like there's an entire corner of the internet dedicated to clown snuff. There's gotta be
right. There's gotta be something out there. But I digress. So here's what I do. And I'll start at the end of the week because I think this will give you guys a good indication of what happens to me. So I'll start on my Sunday. On my Sunday, what I do is I send out an accountability questionnaire to all of my clients, right? It's a way for us to recap the week. Ask them a few questions like, I use ProCoach. For those out there familiar with ProCoach, it delivers 7 lessons per week for nutritional intervention. So my first question is, out of 7 possible lessons in ProCoach, how many did you complete? And they'll answer that. I'll ask them, out of 3 possible workouts, I typically have my clients work out 3 times per week. It works for my demographic. Out of 3 possible workouts, how many did you complete? I'll ask them, what were your challenges last week? What were your victories last week? How can I help you next week? So I ask those questions. Now, I pieced this process together from a lot of different coaches who have been so kind as to help me, build out my process. So I get all that information on Sunday. It's pre-programmed. It's going to post to my group. I have a group for my clients on Facebook. On Sunday, I get that information back. On Monday, what I do is I shoot a video for each person that actually answered those questions. I will just recap some of the things that they talked about in the video. Sort of, here I am, I'm paying attention. 1 to 2 minute video. What I can do in that video is I can read through their ProCoach lessons for the week, see what aha moments they have, what things changed for them. I can read through the questions that they answered in the accountability post, and I'll grab my phone and say, Kendo, hey, great job last week. You got 2 out of your 3 workouts in. I know you wanted to shoot for 3. Something's way better than nothing. You nailed it on the nutrition. I see that you and the mayor planned a meal together. I remember when you first came in, you were saying how you're vegan and he eats carnivore, and you always have a mess at the dinner table because the kids eat all differently. Now to see you guys planning a meal together, through the answers she gave me in Pro Coach. Now to see you guys playing a meal together, just amazing. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Know that I'm here for you, and you are right on track. Upload that video on Monday. Also on Monday, and I took this from our podcast, I've established office hours. So I do an office hours post to let the people know when I'm going to be available on a video conference twice a week for 30 minutes. They can pop in on Zoom, Skype, whatever you use. I use Facebook Rooms because it's really convenient for me. That's their video conferencing thing. So Monday, I post when the office hours are going to be, and they're always at 9:00 p.m. Eastern on Monday, 6:00 p.m. on Wednesday. And I post a short link for them to have a phone conversation with me, 15-minute phone call. My clients can choose between any of those things on Monday, knowing that they also have Wednesday to do the office hours. So they'll either pop in for a phone call or they'll come to one of the office hours. Office hours is not structured. I'm just literally sitting there I say that I'm the dean of Fitness University in the office. I've already got some work set aside for that time. If nobody shows up, doesn't make a hill of beans to me. I'm literally just sitting there on camera. They pop in. Oh, Jonathan, what's up, man? You got a question? Okay. Yeah. So here's how you do it. Blah, blah, blah. Jonathan goes away. Nobody else shows up. Office hours in. I go about my business. In the middle of the week, we do something like what we do with traffic light and OTA level 2. Just basically asking people a touch point. Where do you feel like you are so far this week? Thumbs up, everything's going great. Shoulder shrug, I probably need to ask a question in the group. Thumbs down, I need to set a phone call ASAP, in which case the link is present again for a phone call. And I like to play with it. So like last week, I'd used Thelma and Louise. For those who've seen the film, on the scale of Thelma to Louise, where are you? Brad Pitt shirtless, because that was sort of Brad Pitt's first movie. I'm about to kill a man, and that's the point where Thelma holds a gun to the guy's head, and I've got screenshots of it. Or I'm over the cliff, and it's that final scene where they're driving the car over the cliff, which means I need a phone call. So I've done a scale of Brittany to Brittany. Brittany in her first video, Brittany shaving her head, Brittany yelling at camera people. Yes. On a scale of Brittany to Brittany, where are you this week? I just try to make something.
Those scales are fantastic.
Just to Jonathan's point, he just made the point of having fun with business, right? Like that's my personality type. I am leaning into who I am authentically, and that's the kind of stuff that I would do. So what I found is through all those fail safes, I really only spend maybe an hour and a half tops in live action with my clients. And my renewal percentage went way up. Like last month, my renewal for the 5 clients that I had that were in the 12-week program, one re-enrolled for 9 additional months, $2,400 paid up front. One and the other 4 re-enrolled for $1,000 each for another 12 weeks. So my clients feel sort of seen. And what I found is that clients don't need as much contact as they do need the potential for contact,
yes,
right?
Yes. Because can we hammer in on that for a second?
Yeah, because
they don't need you there every second. They need you there when they need you. When they need to know that you're there for when they need you. And they won't use you very much.
They won't.
Most of them won't.
Hour and a half tops is what I spend on live coaching with clients per week. One or two people may pop into office hours. One person may schedule a phone call. It's freed up my time tremendously using this sort of methodology. It's improved my ability to renew clients. And for those of you out there to use Pro Coach who have had trouble with it, because we see this all the time in groups, Pro Coach is so slow. People don't like it. It's not specific enough. It's your method, I can assure you, because I'm trending at 90% or better completion for Pro Coach across the board on clients after having done this thing. So it's really a time saver.
I'm adding to
it. Recapping what their answers were in the previous week of Pro Coach has been a stroke of genius for me. I have some methods that I use to send out messages that I got from Kate Solovia. Solovia.
Kate. If you wanted us to pronounce your name right, you should have
right. Kate. Yeah. We'll use initials here. I got the video thing from Gil Messina. He taught me that, and of course the rest of it's sort of OTA level 2-ish stuff. So I guess Jonathan sort of helped. I guess more Igor, because Jonathan doesn't know what's going on in it. Igor and Jason, they're really the brains there. And obviously Alex.
How many times have I said this?
Right.
It is not.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Credit and value and reward does not go to the person who came up with the idea.
Right.
It goes to the person who gets credit for the idea.
Right.
How many times have we spoken about this, everybody?
Jonathan's like the figurehead on the mast of the ship. There's actually a captain steering it. So if anything crashes, it hits Jonathan in the nose first. That's the way we structured here at PTDC.
Perfectly reasonable.
You're welcome, Jonathan.
Hey man, if all I do in my life is find smarter people than me to work for our company and contribute value, I'm a pretty happy guy.
Except for this podcast, of course. We've proven that out several times.
We spent the first 5 minutes of this podcast discussing what we were going to talk about. Right. We're in episode like 50 something. Like we should not be doing that.
I think it's awesome because I think the listeners get invited to a planning meeting every week. They really get to see what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, and the best part is we could easily edit that out.
But we just don't care. We literally don't care enough to edit it out. You know, just we own it. So you guys out there just deal with it.
And never forget the key point that I think is the most important thing to always keep in mind when you're listening to this podcast. You didn't pay anything for this.
It's free 99.
Hey, Jonathan Goodman here. This podcast is made possible thanks to people like you. Here's a quick word from our sponsors. Are you still trying to pick your online training software? If so, let me make this easy for you. Go with PT Distinction. It's truly the best, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor. We actually use PT Distinction for our own online fitness business, online trainer coaching, and we're really happy with it. From onboarding to programming to client communication, PT Distinction has everything you need to run your online fitness business smoothly, and it's super simple to use. Now, normally they offer a free 30-day trial, but as a listener of the Online Trainer Show, you get a free 60-day trial, so you can make sure you love them before spending a dime. If you want to deliver first-class service to your clients while reclaiming your time, then visit onlinetrainer.com/PTD to sign up for your free 60-day trial today. If you're a fitness nutrition coach that's looking to master online coaching so that you can help more people, make more money, and have more freedom, then the Online Trainer Academy can help. OTA gives you the framework, knowledge, and support to have predictable success with your online coaching business. From marketing to business development to how to assess and motivate your clients online, it is constantly updated and refreshed to keep up with a dynamic market. Not only that, OTA is proven. In 7 years, we've helped over 30,000 coaches in 87 countries go online. Truth is, we know what works, so you can get right to the success part. And in case you're busy working a full-time job or you're a full-time parent, know that you can go at your own pace. There's no deadlines to complete OTA and you have lifetime access. That said, if you are ready to make a rapid change and finish the course in the next 8 to 12 weeks, you can expect to invest 3 to 5 hours each week on the program. And here's the best part. If you join today, you will make an extra $1,000 a month in 90 days, or I'll give you your money back. So if you're ready to build the fitness business you want and make the money you deserve, go to onlinetrainer.com/academy to enroll today. And I hope to see you in there.
So that's sort of what I do. Anybody else want to energy? Anybody want to throw some seasoning on this thing? We got to stay cool. We need to season it. Keto, Amber, the ladies, women.
You are way more structured than I am.
But I'm sure your structure works for you, though.
It does. I'm a headless chicken, and I'm totally fine with working with that set of parameters. We can call that very loosely.
Right.
So talk about what you do.
Like you
talk about how your program's structured.
So same. I do have office hours in which my clients know that if they reach out to me during those times, they're gonna get like a more kind of like in the moment response. If it's not within my office hours, then they're probably going to have to wait till next day or whatever. It's more family time. And so what I do every morning is check my email, because sometimes every once in a while there's like the freak out of like, oh my God, I feel like I messed up. This whole week is whatever, like we've all had experiences like that with our clients, right? Or they feel like they've done something wrong that is also irreversible. So a lot of our work, I feel, is like putting out fires, and they're the made up fires, right? That to them feel so urgent, but we know that they're not the deal breaker, and it's just kind of like reframing that. And so I do a lot of that. It feels like a lot of hand holding, but I'm totally fine with that because I actually enjoy that part of my work. Like I don't get frustrated at having to explain to people like normal. Like I do very well in that role of like validating feelings, reminding people that they're not alone and they're not the first ones to go through this. Like all that kind of stuff comes very naturally to me, and I'm very comfortable with that. And same, it's like going through like their answers, their feedback, seeing if there's I look for keywords. I like to think of myself a little bit like a Facebook algorithm, because you know how Facebook, like they're starting to use AI, like for example, to predict like people who are struggling with their mental health because they use certain words and they use certain phrases, and it becomes kind of like a predictor for future behavior or for, you know, trouble. And the same with our clients. There are certain keywords and phrases that, if, you know, with enough practice, you start to kind of like identifying what's like a red flag for them, feeling defeated, feeling like they're not making any progress, like maybe you aren't a good fit for them. Like those are things that you need to catch before they become a big issue. So yeah, be an algorithm. I don't know, a human algorithm of like words and emotions.
So you have a tendency in your practice, Carol, you have a tendency to be more of an empath through the process. That's sort of your style of taking them through what you do. And to your point, you said that for your personality, that's something that you enjoy, and it fits with who you are as a person.
Yes.
I think
absolutely.
I think
it feels very comfortable.
Right. I think that's a great contrast to allow people out there to understand that, you know, it's got to be sort of built around first of all, nobody wants to do this if it's going to suck the lifeblood out of you every single week of your life. Like, let's just start there. Like, and we've all had that experience. Like, if you've been a trainer more than 5 minutes, you've had an experience where doing this job, and we have somebody comment about this in the Online Trainers Unite recently, I think, who said, I think I'm going to stop doing coaching. You know, it's just too much. I can guarantee you that person's probably working against their own personality type. They're trying to do something that they were told was the quote unquote best way to do it in the absence of who they are. Yeah. And that's a death shot in this business, man. Like, you start operating. So
they've defined that. Right?
Yeah.
Like they've defined that as what coaching is. And so now they think that if they don't do that, then they have to leave completely.
I'm telling you,
yeah, that was kind of sad to see that message.
It was sad to see it because I've had conversations with this person and I know what their capability is. Like I know what they can do. You know, this train runs through the tunnel of authenticity. It just does, man. Like, you can't get around it. You just heard Jonathan Goodman say, you know, there's certain things that I don't do. It's not my wheelhouse. I get people around me who do those things, and I dive down into the things that I do.
There are way more things that I don't do than there are things that I do. Let's just leave it at that.
But your process, you know, I'm very I have a tendency to be very methodical, even though I'm a nut job here, like, you know, by design almost. But I have a tendency to be very process oriented. That's the way that I work. My brain works that way. Keto is much more of an empath, you know, and she enjoys what she described just now is an absolute nightmare for me. I will wake at 3:00 this morning thinking of this process in a cold sweat. Like, oh God, somebody needs me. Like this, I want to completely head off all of that up front before it ever arises. Like, that's a nightmare scenario for me. But for Keto and her clients, it works. You know, so Amber, you want a shot at this? You got your delts out. You know, you're appropriately positioned to see the anterior head of your deltoid.
We know for sure it's Amber.
Yeah, we know for sure it's Amber. Why not chime in? So what's your deal? Like, what's your deal anyway? Yo, what's your deal, yo?
Right. I'm kind of a mix of the both of you. I have a tendency what I do is at the beginning of a program is I plan everything out from messages to articles I want them to check out to check-in messages. It all gets done because I have a very small window of time to play with. So I plan out as much as I can. But at the same time, I thrive on a little bit of chaos in that, like, I want to be able to be there for them in the moment. And so any of our students in the OTA know I have problems with boundaries, and like, you can message anytime, and I usually answer pretty damn quick because I'm always like, everything's burning, right? But I kind of enjoy that to a certain extent, being able to be there in the moment, because I know with that anxiety, like a lot of my clients tend to have anxiety. So being able to catch them in the moment and help kind of cool the fires before it becomes a bigger deal and hurts their progress in some way. But most of everything is planned. And then that way, the finite time I do have, I can use towards that. And that's most of what I do.
Do you have weekly things that you like? Do you have a structured? Because one thing I know about you is that your journey mapping skills are sort of off the charts. Like, I think we all know about you. We've seen you in the groups sharing your immaculate welcome kits and then the planning that you do and all that. And people will come to me in OTA coaching calls, and I saw this thing with Amber Reynolds, and I'm like, hey, what? Just pipe it down, buddy. Simmer down right now. Let's start with here. You're not Amber Reynolds. I'm not Amber Reynolds. We have no need to talk about Amber Reynolds things here because we're both going to fail. Let's just start right there. That's how I encourage the students, Jonathan. So thank you for allowing me to be a coach. But, the things that you do journey mapping wise are very, very, very well thought out. Like, are you saying that's...
Yeah, I mean, it's all like everything has to be done ahead of time because I have too many balls in the air, so to speak. So like, it's just, it can be too much. So I have to do a lot of planning. Yeah. So anything, from welcome packages to, check-in messages to, all of that stuff. What I typically do from like a day-to-day basis is checking in on the software to see what workouts got done, what food got tracked, and if anything needs a message. But all of the check-in and support messages are automated. So really a lot of time is me waiting for them to respond if they need me, whether it's a thumbs up, an FU, I don't really care as long as they at one point respond.
Right.
And so I kind of wait for them because my part's already done. I've scheduled it out ahead of time. And then from a day-to-day basis, I go in and check to see if I need to be more proactive in certain areas as far as, hey, they haven't tracked anything in a few days, then I'll be, proactive and check in with them. But if everything's moving smoothly, there's not a whole lot that I need to do from a day-to-day basis.
So Amber's sort of very proactive. Keto is fairly reactive. And I'm just sort of methodical in what I'm doing. And that's a good representation of sort of three variations of a process, but we do have a process, right? And it's sort of predicated on our personality type, what we enjoy. A lot of what you said, Amber, is also a nightmare for me, sort of proactively, scheduling automated. I'm not going to, that's a no for me, dog. You're not going to Hollywood. I can't so here you have it, for the folks listening, the two of you out there, you've got these three personality types, these three methodologies, but they allow us to feel comfortable in dealing with the online clients, and it allows us to have something that our online clients can feel comfortable with because it sort of matches who we are. That anytime availability thing, Amber, that totally freaks me out. Like, I'm kind of, after 6 Eastern, you miss the office hours for me, and you don't see me for months after that. Like, you had your shot, buddy. You know what we do here. Yeah. I'm more Goodmanish in that respect. I'm cutting the feelings off, when I'm off work, because I got to watch Mandalorian. We established that. I got shows I need to see, and PlayStation 5 is coming out. I'm going to take another shot at getting that PlayStation 5 again today through Walmart. I'll see if the site crashes again. But I think it's very interesting, the differentiate. Don't be like that. The differentiation between how we manage our clients. And I hope what that does, I hope it gives you guys permission out there to take a preconceived sort of concept and build it out in a way that it flows better with who you are as a person and who your clients are as people, because our clients are different. Amber's working with the Hot Mom Express, Kiddo's working with the hot moms. I'm assuming, the badass corporate moms, and I'm working with the moms who are maybe have a little bit more time. Maybe my demographic seems to, even though that they're insanely busy most of the time. But I'm probably sort of middle of the road type, just sort of the average North American mother type for me. They might not quite be the hot mess, might not quite be like the corporate exec, somewhere in the middle of that. So Jonathan, anything to add here? You got any insight for us here? You're sending clown pictures, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I spent pretty much the whole episode looking for photos of that bachelor party with a clown.
Like what Google do you literally is the Google search there bachelor party clownette? Is that how you
no
you appropriately search?
I have a large storage account box with like a terabyte of storage that I just put like all of my photos in there just because I don't want to lose them. So to dig through there to find the engagement photo. So I put a photo of the clown. I did blank out my brother's face because like I don't know, you don't need to know. Right. My brother looks like me. Like basically just unscrambled face and put my face on it. Joey, we need to get Jonathan's picture on this face that's in the Slack channel of the actual clown with the actual red hair as his brother sits strapped to a chair in front of his family and friends about to be, basically assaulted by a clown. I love her hair though. That's great. That's what Jonathan spent the podcast doing today, folks. You're welcome. So the best part was when he. I have nothing to add to the topic. The best part is that when my buddies grabbed him and like blindfolded him, he started swearing at me. He's like, "Dude, Mom and Dad are effing here. I can't believe you're doing this." I mean, he literally invited my mom and dad to his bachelor party so that I would not get him a stripper, right? He's like, "Dude, Mom and Dad are here. Our cousins are here. I can't believe you did this." And he's blindfolded.
Oh my gosh.
So this hair touches his face. He's so pissed. He's like steaming behind his blindfold. And then he kind of like does this double take because he feels the hair.
Basically a ball of yarn touching his face. Thank God for you, Jonathan Goodman.
Thank you. Thank you, Otto.
Where would we where would we be if not for you? If you listen to this podcast, up with hope and down with dope, or whatever Jesse Jackson said. Up with we want you to go up with hope and down with dope. Take your neighbors and try to get in a peaceable frame of mind. And now we know that violence is wrong. It won't be tolerated in our streets and in our cities. And if we make it to the White House from the outhouse, we'll turn it into our house. Up with hope and down with dope. Jingle, jingle. Jingle.
Show notes. Jingle. Do the show notes, Jesse Jackson. Reverend Jackson. Jesse Jackson. Do the show notes, Reverend Jackson.
I'm glad you asked that, son. The show notes can be found at www.ptdc.com.
Nope.
Try again.
Show notes can be found. I'm sorry. Let me check my notes. Let me check my notes here. Excuse me. Sister Margaret touched me on the shoulder. She just handed me another note. The show notes can be found at www.onlinetrainer.com/podcast.
Heck yes.
The missionaries will meet Sunday at 4:00 p.m. about the outreach for the community center. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. You have been released.
Amen. Jingle.
This is the online trainer show, trainer show, trainer show. This is the online trainer show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.